I'm ChristopherJMUA and welcome to my bathtub. It's probably going to be very echoey in here. Gotta make sure my hair looks good. Hey, I'm ChristopherJMUA. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. I'm going to be showing you my skincare routine.
This one is going to be my nighttime routine. My daytime routine is pretty much the same thing, it's just not as vigorous, I guess.
The first thing I've got to say, this isn't really part of the skincare routine per se, but I always take a Halo Beauty skin booster. It's Halo Kiwi. If you haven't watched Glambot Guru or Tati Westbrook, then you should. But it's a really good product. I take one every night before I go to bed. But for me, there's definitely a noticeable difference since I started taking them. I just take one every night. So for the actual skincare routine, I'm gonna start out with Neutrogena Ultra Light Cleansing Oil. This is really good for breaking down any kind of makeup or oils that you have on your face currently. And it's kind of like a pre-cleanse cleanse. And with this, usually I just pump this out of my hands. I don't really want to get the oil and the makeup all over my cleansing brush. And I just rub it in my hands and then rub it all over my face. And it's really cool because you can see everything start breaking down with the oil. And it's almost like once you see the oil on your face go from clear to super saturated with color, then that's when you know it's time to rinse. The first time I ever used this, I actually used it in the shower, and I thought that I had to mix it with water, and I couldn't figure out why it wasn't working because it wasn't breaking down any makeup. It turns out you're supposed to use it dry. And always make sure to get face and neck. You know, I kept thinking about how I was going to film this video because in the shower it would be way too loud with all the water running in the background. I really came to this conclusion. I know this is a little bit different of an environment to see you on my channel. Okay, and after using the Neutrogena Light Cleansing Oil, then we move on to Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Deep Dive Cleansing Gel. And I use this while my face is still wet. And I just rub it between my fingers and then all over my face and neck. This isn't quite a Clarisonic. It's the ULTA version of it, just skin cleansing brush. I'm not exactly even sure what it's called, but it works just fine. Then with the bristles wet on my cleansing brush, that's when I go in with that and start cleansing using circular motions. In days when I go heavy on brow product, I really like to let this spin over my brows just a little bit extra because a lot of the time the makeup remover doesn't quite get rid of everything. And I always like to keep rinsing and washing until I make sure that the bristles on the brush are no longer tinted or the water that comes off my face no longer has any tint. That way I actually know it's clean. And now that you're completely foamy, time to rinse. So that was the cleanse stage of washing my face. The next stage is exfoliate. For this step, I use the Tarte Frxxxtion Stick. This is the small size. I'm not gonna open the big one until I finish using the small one, but you just run this on your face. And if you have facial hair, you'll be able to see where your facial hair is if you haven't shaved. Because when you run the stick over it, it turns black a lot faster than all the soft spots on your face. Essentially what you're doing to your face is you're just cleaning out your pores, and then you're putting a bunch of little micro scratches essentially on your face skin so that you can really open it up and then close it again with a moisturizer. So now that the Frxxxtion Stick is all over my face, I'm gonna use the cleansing brush again and do the exact same things I did with the cleanser. Just turn it on and go in with circular motions all over my face so that it exfoliates everywhere. And for me personally, especially around this season, when it starts getting cold outside and just fall time, winter time, I always end up getting really dry in my T-zone, especially right here between my eyes and right on my forehead and my brows. So I always like to exfoliate a little bit extra there to get rid of any dead skin that might be there and to kind of keep the dead skin at bay so I don't flake throughout the day. And then you rinse the exfoliator off. Now after exfoliating, you want to dry your face off. And just pat it dry, don't drag the cloth across your face. Now I'm going to go in with Origin's Zero Oil Pore Purifying Toner with saw palmetto and mint. Ever since I started using this, I actually noticed a difference in my pores, just how big they actually look. My pores are already really big, and it's hard to find products that do something different for my face. But once I started using this, I could genuinely tell the difference. So I really like this one. Now, a lot of the time, the back of these will tell you to use like a cotton ball or those little square cotton things to apply it. Personally, I feel like I waste a lot of product doing that because I end up filling up the cotton ball and not actually using all of the toner. So I just pour a little bit into the palm of my hand and make sure I don't spill it, because then my hand's not soaking up all of the toner like the cotton ball would, and it's all over my hands, so I can just rub it onto my face. And that's all I do, is just rub it all over my face and then wait for it to dry. Now the next part is the part that varies depending on if it's going to be a morning routine or a night routine. In the morning, I won't use any kind of mask because typically I don't have the time to use one, but at night I will. This always depends on kind of what time of the week it is. Once a week, I'll use a peel-off mask, the kind that you put on and let it dry, and then you can peel it from the side and you peel the whole thing off at once. Those are a little more intense and a lot more exfoliating, so I only use those once a week because I only want to clean my pores, like deep clean my pores, really just once a week. Typically though, throughout the week, I'll use different kinds of masks. Right now I'm using Formula 10.0.6 3 times Sublime 3-in-1 Blackhead Wash Scrub Mask. But you can really use any mask that's kind of catered to what you want. There's brightening masks, there's charcoal masks. Any kind of mask that you can put on and wash off is the kind of mask that I'm talking about, not necessarily a peel-off mask. So with this specific one, I just put it directly onto my face. And with your dry face, you just rub this in everywhere. And try to get a nice even coating everywhere as well, including your neck. And I'm not doing this step with the cleansing brush, but you actually can do this step with the cleansing brush. You just have to change the attachment. There's another attachment that they make that's like a flat, spongy type attachment, and you can use that to apply this. I prefer my hand because it doesn't seem to dry down nearly as fast. And really push any mask that you have deep into any, like around your nose and any crevices that you have, like any deep set wrinkles, because you want to make sure that the mask gets as deep as it can into your skin. And then you wait as directed according to the mask that you pick. Mine is 10 to 15 minutes, so I'll see you back here in 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so now that you've been very patient and very good and you've left your mask on for the whole 10 to 15 minutes, now you rinse it off. Now this is probably super extra. You could probably just rinse the whole thing off with your hand, but I like to go in with the cleansing brush again with it wet and just make sure that I grind all of the dry mask off. I just feel like it kind of is that last little push for the mask, and it just kind of helps really get everything in there and rinse it all off at the same time. Okay, so now that you've gotten rid of the mask completely, you need to pat your face dry again. And And once your face is completely dry, now it's time to go in with a moisturizer. I prefer using It Cosmetics Confidence in a Cream. It kind of has like this yellowish tint to it, but I really like how it makes my skin look. It almost looks like I'm kind of glowy a little bit, but it's not tinted actually. It's not gonna leave like a clear complexion tint behind. It's just really moisturizing, and it just seems like it does a really good job at making my skin look healthy. Now that I'm done moisturizing my face, I like to go in with Dirty Works Stop Puffy Eyes Eye Cream, and I just take a small bead of this onto my pinky and put my pinkies together and put this mainly on my under eyes. Most of the time, preferably without actually getting it in my eye. Oh, man! And that's not the cure-all for eyes, but it's the best I've found so far. As like a cream, not like a tinted cover-up sort of thing. It seems like it more so attacks the problem at its root and gets rid of the puffiness instead of it just like masking puffiness, and I really like that. And the very last thing we have to take care of is our lips. We got our face, we got our eyes, now our lips. I love this e.l.f. lip scrub. This one's in the flavor brown sugar, but it's so cute. I mean, it's like a lipstick. I've talked about this in a previous video, so don't mind me if I hype it up a little bit. But you just go pretty hard on your lips. And I do that for, I don't know, a good 30 seconds probably to a minute. Because really the more you break down, the better it is, so it doesn't really hurt too much. And there's always some brown sugar pieces left over, which you can eat them if you want, or you can wipe them off. It doesn't matter either way. For the sake of this video and being on camera, I'm probably not going to eat it, and I'm just going to wipe it off. Okay, maybe I ate a little bit. That tastes just like brown sugar. And now that your lips are all cut up and the dead, gross layer of skin is taken off of them, you want to go in with a moisturizer. And I'm using the Organic Pharmacy Antioxidant Lip Balm. This is with shea butter and rose hip to keep lips soft. And for me, I do this routine every day before bed, so all this stuff's kind of soaking into my face overnight, which is really nice. If you have any, I did but I ran out, but if you have any, you can use some like overnight masks or any kind of anti-wrinkle serums while you're sleeping, and that really helps out in the long term. That kind of exploded on me and I got a little more than I planned for. And that concludes my nightly skincare routine. You can really toy with this however you want, as long as the product you're using serves the purpose of cleanse, exfoliate, and moisturize. You can do it however you want, or use whatever you want. So I hope that helps you out a little bit, or a lot. I'd love to see your routines. If you want, upload your own and tag me in it. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, or Snapchat. My username is the same for everything. It's ChristopherJMUA. Thanks for coming to hang out with me in my bathtub. I appreciate it. And thanks for watching me show you my skincare routine, and I hope you got something out of it. Remember to like and subscribe, and share if you wanna. Who knows, your best friend might have been wanting a skincare routine that they didn't even know about. And until next time, guys, always remember and never forget, you're beautiful.